Welcome to Face in the Crowd, the show all about inspiring South Africa, getting you out of your seat and onto the path to reaching your dreams. I'm Abigail Fasahi. Well, a happy Women's Month to all our female viewers out there, and in keeping with Women's Month celebrations, this week Face in the Crowd profiles a young lady who, despite all of her setbacks and all of her challenges, is still living her dream. Take a look. At just 20 years old, Bonolo Matebogo is living her dream of owning her own fashion label and creating unique designs perfect for the full-figured women of Africa. Faceafribloom is a chic and vibrant fashion house that caters for the plus-sized woman, but achieving this dream was no easy task for Bonolo. She has always been a somewhat bigger kid, and if being downplayed and teased was not enough, a medical condition forced her to drop out of fashion school. Bonolo suffers from Blount's disease, a growth disorder of the shin bone, in which the lower leg turns inward, resembling a bow leg. But despite her hardships, Bonolo is steadfast in growing her business, and Face in the Crowd visited Faceafribloom at 27 Boxes in Melville, and this is Bonolo's story. Bonolo, welcome to Face in the Crowd. I'm super excited to hear about your story of triumph. You've got such an amazing story for young people to aspire to, and I'm excited. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm great.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's start, and you tell us about your fashion label, your fashion house, Faceafribloom.
Okay, so Faceafribloom is a specialty plus-size boutique. So we carry sizes 34 to 46, and we're going to have bigger sizes in the future. And basically, it's a label for the fashion-forward plus-size woman who celebrates her curves. So we're very daring with our fashion, and also it's about being comfortable as well.
So Bonolo, we're going to come back to Faceafribloom and discuss that in detail, but I just want you to tell me about your childhood, where you grew up, what your childhood was like.
Okay, so I kind of grew up all over South Africa. So I was born in Johannesburg, and then I was raised by my grandmother in Mpumalanga till I was 3, and then we moved to the Eastern Cape because my dad decided to become a doctor, and then we moved back to Joburg, and I did my whole primary school here in Johannesburg at Rosebank Primary, and then we moved to Cape Town when I was 13. So I had my whole high school there, and I was an exchange student in America when I was 16. Nice. So I ended up being in like 6 high schools from all the moving.
Wow, you traveled a lot.
Yeah, but no, it was interesting. It actually really taught me to be adaptable and make friends easily and just go with the flow, because I never knew if this year I'll be in the same school or what was going to happen with my life. So yeah, I think that's also helped me with my business, that I can adapt to change easily.
Yeah, definitely. And are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
I have a younger sister, and we're like complete opposites. She's into science and all of that. So yeah. She's like my dad, I'm like my mom.
And talk to us about your schooling life. What was that like?
It was okay. I feel like I took school as like a marathon. So I was pacing myself throughout, didn't try too hard. And then in matric, I was like, okay, this is the last time. Yeah. And I need to prove to people that I'm not dumb. So then I ended up getting 6 distinctions at the end of matric.
That is amazing. Because a lot of people think people who go into the arts aren't, intelligent. Yeah. You couldn't focus on education. That's why you took the direction of arts. But you had 6 distinctions in matric. Amazing.
Thank you.
She was very creative, and we all acknowledge that. And I've always encouraged my kids to follow their dreams, follow their hearts. I come from the humanities. I studied journalism and drama, and the dad did medicine and also did BSc. So I said, whatever that you want to do, it's your life. We cannot dictate to you. All we can do is to nurture and support you. She loved law. We knew that she might actually go into law, but we also knew that she was super creative. And I think when she got to grade 10 and she had to do some subject choices that would help her towards her career, I think one of the teachers said to her, it's very important, Bonolo, to do stuff that you love, stuff that comes effortlessly to you, that you don't have to think about it.
They told me I can't go into anything conventional, because they were like, if you go there, you will waste your time, you'll be frustrated. This is where you belong. So yeah, it was very clear. My mom was like, I'm not paying for a business degree. degree, you need to go do what's your passion, because
Wow.
I've been designing since I was 12 years old. So she's like, it doesn't make sense for you not to do it.
Wow, well, claps for mom for actually agreeing and allowing you to pursue your passion. Not a lot of parents allow their children to take those routes. So talk to us about the dream when you were, say, 10 years old. Bonolo, was the dream always fashion, or was there something else that you were passionate about?
No, because almost in school, you're kind of taught to be a lawyer or a doctor. So for a long time, I thought I was going to be an ER surgeon. And then I changed my mind and I wanted to be a forensic investigator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was very much in the science field because
Yeah.
I love biology. And then over time, I was like, actually, this is what makes me the most happy.
Yeah.
And I just took art and design and drama throughout high school. And I was like, somewhere in the art space is where I belong. And then when I was in America, I just found shopping so easy. It was
Yeah.
so easy to find clothes. And there was specialty plus size boutiques. And I was like, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to dress big girls.
Yeah. So where would you say that spark was for the passion for fashion? When did you decide that this is what I love and this is what I want to do?
I think in that exchange year, but all along, I'd always been one of those people. When there's Civi's Day, I was like dressed with blazers and everything.
Yeah.
People were like, why are you so serious?
Like a
I'm like,
fashion
no,
show.
I love dressing up. This is my opportunity.
Yeah.
And people would always be like, oh, I want to dress like you. So I figured, okay, I can design for more girls who want to dress like me. And yeah, it was just one of those things where somehow it just made sense. I was like, this is it.
But then, Bonolo, when you achieved 6 distinctions in matric, I mean, everyone, it's not very often that someone gets 6 distinctions. Did you not think about taking the academic route?
I did. I had a moment of doubt because a lot of people who knew me, they were like, you're wasting your brain going into design. You have 6 distinctions. I'd be a lawyer. I'd be this. And actually, a lot of people, when I spoke to them, they didn't think I was in the arts field. I'm like, oh, you're going to study law. So for a while, I was like, okay, maybe this law thing is what I'm supposed to do because everyone's asking me that. Then afterwards, my mom was like, nope, you're not changing your mind. We've invested too much in design. You're going there.
Nice. I love your mom. I can't wait to speak to her a little bit later. But Bonolo, I want to talk to you about creating and the idea behind creating a plus size fashion label for women who are bigger. Have you always had issues with your weight? Is that something that you struggled with in high school?
Yeah,
What's the
I've
story?
always been a big girl since I was a child.
Yeah.
I don't have one picture where I can say I was thin.
It was tough on her, having to deal with the pain and going to school, not being able to participate in some other sport because the doctor then would say you cannot actually be involved in contact sports. So mainly she did stuff like swimming and she would do dance and other stuff, but really she could not do a lot of the physical activity at school. And then obviously contributed that towards her weight because, I mean, if you have not been active for quite a few months, then when you get back, to try to get back into the groove and shed some of the extra kilos was not really easy for her. But we've brought her up in a way that she always had to believe in herself. She always had to be positive. People always wanted to dial up the fact that she was a big child. And whether in a taxi or somewhere, people would say to her, hey, when Studla? And I said to her, no, you turn around, with respect and say, Mama, I'm Studla, I'm my mom's princess.
A lot of the time it's not that big girls don't know how to dress. It's we struggle to find the clothes that we want. So I was like, why should we carry on struggling? Or fine, we have to wait for some American company or someone to bring this into the country. So I was like, this makes sense. It makes sense for my life because I love clothes, I love designing, and I love seeing other big girls looking good. And also to just stop some stereotypes like that we don't know how to dress. It's not true.
Yes.
We know how to dress.
I
We just
know.
need the clothes.
I know, I've seen some amazing, beautiful big women who dress amazingly, and yeah, it's so true. Being a bigger girl, there's always a lot of stereotypes. Socially, what were some of the things that you struggled with?
People thinking that I'm not athletic and they'd be surprised when I could keep up in gym class or that I'm very flexible. They're like, how are you able to do the splits? I'm like, I don't know. Yes.
Wow, I can't even do the splits.
I was
So
like,
point proven.
I was like, I can somehow. It works.
Yeah.
And also some things like big girls are lazy, and I'm like, I work so hard.
Yeah.
Not lazy at all. I might not be excited to exercise, so if that means we're lazy, fine, I'll accept it. But yeah, just basic things like that. And yeah, so I was just like, nope, not true. Just disproving it all.
So Bonolo, I love your positivity and I love how upbeat and happy you are. But was there ever a time where you struggled with your weight and social issues around that?
Not really. I feel like every teenager or girl is insecure some way somehow.
Definitely.
But then I would always like snap out of it. So one day I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. Maybe I should eat a salad. I'm like, no, but I like food too much.
Salad sucks, by the way. I hate salad.
Exactly. So I feel like it's just one of those things. And also having great friends around me, and also maybe not living that stereotypical depressed big girl life, I guess. I dated, I had good friends, so I never felt like, oh, it's really a big thing. Actually, if I say to my friends I want to lose weight, they're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. It's
Like
whatever.
everyone else, it's
No
not
one
a
made a
big
big
deal.
deal about it.
She always thinks there's better than what she's going through. So in each and every situation that she comes across, she always comes out standing.
So talk to us about now you've matriculated with 6 distinctions. What's the next step for you? What's the dream?
Well, the dream is to go to Parsons, the new school of design in New York. So I'm working hard towards getting there, and definitely growing the business, having more boutiques around the country, having our online store going live this year, and definitely getting into other African countries because I did the Mercedes-Benz African Fashion Festival in Ghana, and I love West Africa. Want to go back again.
How was it there?
It was great. Very hot though.
Is it?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I don't sweat this much in my country. It's a lot.
So Manolo, after matric, did you study further?
Yes, I did. I went to Lysoff for 1 term, but during that time I had surgery on my leg and I had an external brace, so it got infected and I had to drop out because I fell ill. And then I got busy with my business, so I kind of didn't find the time to go back to school.
So Manolo, talk to us about the situation around your leg and what that's all about.
Okay, so when I was 6 years old, I was diagnosed with Blount's disease, and it's an orthopedic disorder where it causes the lower legs to bow, or in rare cases for one leg to grow faster than the other one. So I have the rare form, and my left leg was just growing way faster than my right one. So I had surgery when I was 7 to try and stunt the growth, and somehow it aggravated it because apparently if you operate after the age of 4, it has a tendency to recur. And then I had another surgery when I was 12, and that seemed to work. But then over time, we realized that the left leg wasn't growing at all. Okay. And then I had surgery when I was 15 to just fix like some cartilage damage and whatever damage happened to my knee from the previous surgeries. And then I just kind of took a break, and I was like, oh, I guess there's nothing else they can do. And then I read about a new surgery that they can do called external fixation. So basically what they do is they break your leg in 2 places and they put pins and stuff around it, and they can pull the bones apart. And your body will naturally heal itself, so they regenerate new bone from your own body. So that's what I had done, and they fixed a deficiency of 4.7 centimeters between my 2 legs.
So now, how are your legs? Are they
They're
fine?
equal, they're fine,
Yeah.
they work.
Amazing. So was it ever seen as a setback by yourself?
Not really. Obviously, throughout growing up, kids are mean, so I did get bullied about that. But then I was just like, oh, well, I can't change it, so there's not much I can do about it. And it's just one of those things as people would ask me, oh, what happened? And I'm like, oh, such and such, but it never stopped me. I did dance in high school, I did whatever I wanted.
Yeah, I love that. So talking about difficulties and struggles, you've had quite a few yourself. What do you have to say to people who, feel like maybe challenges are just too much of a challenge?
I think it's a mindset thing. You decide to let it affect you. Obviously, it will have an effect on you whether it's difficult for you to do something, but you decide, this is my life, this is what I want to do. So you can let your struggle define you, or you can be like, nope, I'm proving everyone wrong. If I want to be a runner, I will run.
Yeah, I love that. Bonolo Matebogo, a prime example of how full of potential South Africa's youth is, proving once again that absolutely nothing should keep you from achieving your dreams. Well, it is time for a short break, but this is what you can expect on the other side of Facing the Crowd.
As a young person, you're already insecure, you're not sure, because we are expected to make life-changing decisions at a young age. You pick a degree. So if you don't have that family backing, sometimes that can draw you back. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't convince anybody else to invest in you. Find a mentor or someone who believes in you, even if they're not in the same industry, because when times are tough, that person will push you to the next level and help you keep moving.